Good day. This is Milton Flanagan with Flanagan Financial Services. There's a common misbelief that those who rent don't pay property taxes. Really. So if Chicago or Cook County or any municipality were to raise property taxes on the people that own those properties, I guess the property tax owner or the property owner just eats that. They don't pass it along. If those taxes were to increase by, let's say, $1,000, I guess the rent wouldn't increase, right? But I think it usually does to cover the additional costs that the person that owns the property is going to see. See, politicians always want to pit one group against another. This way they can say that the property tax owners just aren't paying their fair share, but the problem is that the property tax owner passes that cost along, and you as the renter usually ends up picking up that cost. The reason this is vital for everyone right now, especially those people who live in Cook County and Chicago, is you have skin in the game if you rent or if you own. Are you sitting down? Because I had to when I started to read this. Cook County right now has a tax deficit of nearly $1.8 billion due to delayed tax payments. Chicago's mayor, Lori Lightfoot, just presented her budget that projects roughly $1.2 billion deficit. That's nearly $3 billion. I don't know how politicians sleep at night. So get ready, renters and property owners. Most likely you could see increases for both Cook County and Chicago. And if you happen to live in both, you could see increases for both areas for it. Of the nearly $1.2 billion that Lightfoot said in her budget, the deficit of roughly $400 million are for city pensions, which are already underfunded. Is it any wonder why Chicago might be the major metropolitan city in the country that is continuing to lose population? And Illinois and Cook County continue to lose population. The state of Illinois, over the last 20 years, roughly 1 million people have left the state. There was no discussion in the articles about how they intended to pay or fill in these particular voids, other than potential property tax increases. Chicago in particular has a major issue that many businesses and offices, people who have high-rise buildings, they're going to learn. Many of them, because people are working remotely, they may not need that space. And if they don't need that space, then there's a trickle-down effect. The trickle-down effect could be this, is that people that don't come downtown, they don't use the trains, so there's no potential taxes for there. They don't use and may not buy coffee or donuts or lunch, or they may not park. They may not consume anything downtown. That lost revenue has trickled out, and it could go on for many, many other things and that for it. And it becomes a trickle-down effect that the city may never be able to recover from. In particular, commercial real estate could be a potential issue. I have a client whose office is on the 40th floor. If her and everybody else showed up at that building at the number of people they can have in an elevator at the same time, it would probably take them all day to get to their floor, just to turn around and head back down. If it keeps going the way it is, you could see major metropolitan areas like Chicago turn into Houston in the 80s. Practically ghost towns. Chicago's mayor, Cook County board president, and Illinois governor, who are all Democrats, are looking for a federal handout. But I don't think one's coming. Think of it this way. Federal politicians just spent roughly $3 trillion. You can't print enough money to bail out every city, county, state, municipality across the country. And that just can't happen. Taxes are always the answer in Illinois. But guess what? The more they tax, the more people might leave. Again, over the last 20 years, about 1 million people have left the state. In addition to possible income taxes, sales taxes, gas taxes, and other taxes, reduced population also means less federal dollars for all types of programs. If you live or work in Chicago or Cook County, don't be surprised if property taxes are just the beginning. You could see increases in sales taxes, gas taxes, alcohol and cigarette taxes, maybe even taxes on the air you breathe. Just kidding. Well, maybe not. Also, there's been discussion over the years about potential income tax for those people who actually live in Chicago. So I believe my son who lived in Kansas City, there was a Kansas City tax for those people, residents of Kansas City. Could potentially happen. New York does it. You could see that happen here. If that does, potentially you could see people leave the city and therefore. Initially, these taxes could see a surge because, like anything, people can't make adjustments immediately. And when they do start to make adjustments, it could be like when you open a bottle of champagne. You get a lot of pop, all of it comes out, and then at the end, it fizzles out and downs. In addition, you could hasten the exit of people from not only the city, but the county, but also the state. Lastly, if you currently believe or you're supposed to receive a pension from the city of Chicago or Cook County, I hope you have other funds saved because the potential for these programs is real to go bankrupt because there's no money going into them, especially if they miss a $400 million payment. Social Security is presently scheduled, and by my last estimate, to run out of money in 2029. At that time, it is projected everyone would receive about 25% less in their monthly benefit. Ask yourself this. If your pension, Social Security, were to be reduced by 25% or more, how would that impact your standard of living? Would there be any change at all? If you'd like to talk about your situation in more detail, please give me a call at 630-235-5273, or you can email me at mflanagan, that's F as in Frank, Lanagan, at FlanaganFinancialServices.net. You have a great day.